Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new installment of AV Veterans Talk. I'm your host, Bob Alvis, and this week we're speaking with Jodi Champagne, author, photographer. Good morning, Jodi. How are you today?
Good morning.
You are
I'm great, thank you.
Jodi Champagne, and you got the name that is a toast to everybody. Okay,
Yes.
It's nice and stuff. I've known you for quite a few years. We got involved. I was thinking it was back. When did I first meet you? It was the GCOM event at. Wasn't that at some years ago? The veterans.
Yes.
At Marie Kerr Park.
Yes.
Down
That's
there, exactly.
Correct. That's correct.
And you were carrying more cameras that day than I could ever. I could never lift that much weight. But boy, you were jumping that, and you're a professional photographer.
Yes.
And you go around and you're working for Sports Illustrated. And
Well,
National
I've done some work
Yeah.
for them, but not on a more of a contractual.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and so in a neat way and stuff, you found yourself, being drawn into this veterans military world,
Yes.
which was really kind of neat. But before we get into that, because there's a plethora of information there and stuff that we can share with everybody, but do you, where did you come from?
Oh, I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona, okay.
And with my husband being in the military, we were transferred to the East Coast in Philadelphia. And when he was out, we actually came back.
Came back here,
And now we're in California. We've been here since '90.
right? Your
And-
husband's name?
Douglas.
Douglas, you got to share Douglas. And he's an air traffic controller.
That's
right?
correct. That's
Yeah,
correct.
And he ended up working here in Palmdale.
That's correct.
Yeah.
At the Los Angeles En route center.
Yeah, so going back to your youth, growing up in Phoenix, what drove you? What was your dreams aspirations back in those days?
Oh.
Did you want to? You just wanted to? What'd you want to do?
Well, I was a typical girl. But,
Yeah, of course you were, but still.
But no, I was. I loved art.
Yeah.
I love drawing. I love painting. I love anything that was different. I liked making a difference. I liked. I don't want to say controversial, but I like things that provoked emotions, that made people think.
Right.
And that's what I really enjoyed doing. And because I am a mother, it was kind of on a hiatus for a little bit. And
Yeah.
but now, when time came,
Yeah.
I was able to start and move on with that.
Yeah, and did you do any formal training? Go to college? Did you do any of that fun stuff, or did you just, it's all good because,
Yeah.
or did you just go have fun?
Well, it's funny because when I was dating my husband, he actually saw that I could draw, so he actually sent me to college because he didn't want it to go to waste.
Oh,
but
okay, nice.
but yeah, that was too structured for me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But as time went on, and after not working a regular job, I was able to devote some time into art and being an adult from a young child. Art is. It's in very many ways, and when I picked up a camera, actually my original camera was a point and shoot.
Point and shoot, gotcha.
And I was the designated family vacation photographer, so I did a lot of my work from a point and shoot, and finally decided to take a step up and get what I would call a real camera, and I started shooting from there.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing that, wow, this is my new pencil or my new paintbrush,
Right.
and the world is my canvas.
Right.
And so I wanted to start shooting everything.
Right.
But I found myself going into the direction of emotional things that were very powerful to me, within me. And I wanted people to start seeing what I saw, and get the same kind of emotion. Again, provoking emotion.
Right. I think one of your first projects was, I remember you showed me a book with, you went around and you photographed elderly, struggling people. What was it?
That was actually my first documentary was Grace Resources, showing that, what is in your backyard. People don't know that places like this exist.
Right.
They need help. So I had spent about 6 weeks there documenting on what good they do and how people need help. And
Right.
and there were amazing individuals there that, worked their entire life and retired and still need help because there's not enough
Right.
resources for them.
Right.
So that was my first project I've ever done, and I moved on from there.
Oh, I know, yeah, and it really grew from that
Yes.
experience there.
Yes,
So,
it
and nowadays, I know we're a veterans kind of program here, but you got me into this subject matter, when it comes to the homeless, because we deal with so many homeless vets
Right.
around the valley here and around our nation or whatever. But, probably something for you that was really an eye opener.
Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was. And the thing is a lot of people are afraid to approach, afraid to, get involved because it's unknowing. And I've kind of embedded myself into a lot of different areas, and it was a way to, those different areas, they have to trust you.
Yes.
For them to be able to talk with you. And so I spent a long time every weekend going out, so it got to the point where people got used to seeing me.
Correct.
And stuff like that. And then that's how I was able to get some of the images that I've been able to get.
Right.
And because I like being that fly on the wall
Yeah.
and not be seen. And maybe heard, but not be
Yeah,
seen.
you're always have no problem being heard.
Yeah.
It's good. So,
But that's how that's how I got involved, and a lot of my friends would go out shooting with me. They'd have to kind of like babysit me because
yeah.
they'd have to keep an eye on me because I would forget where I'm going because I'm so enthralled in that moment and what I see.
Yeah. All right. So we'll take our first break here. When we come back, we'll talk about how that kind of motivated you to get into the kind of the veterans world, because it's a trust issue. When you go out and you interview somebody, things like that, there has to be that bond and trust because people will be very skeptical of what you're doing. So when we come back, let's talk a little bit about that, okay?
Oh, you got it.
All right, we'll be right back. I'm Bob Alvis, and thanks for joining us for this segment of AV Veterans Talk.